word to wise. Grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple lies. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's Ernie, Blerd without fear. Welcome back to the channel. All right, today's video, we're going to be talking about Wolverine number 18 by Benjamin Percy and Paco Diaz. And in this video, we're going to talk about whose side the mutant Maverick is really on and what line will the head of X-Desk, Dolores Ramirez, not cross to protect humanity from mutants. We're going to talk about all that and more right now. But first, if you want to see more awesome videos like this one, make sure you hit that subscribe button because I post multiple videos throughout the week, plus live stream every Saturday, so that way you don't miss anything. Also, if you enjoy the video, I humbly ask that you Hulk smash that like button because it really helps the channel out. That said, let's talk about Wolverine number 18. Okay, so when last we left off, we discovered that Jeff Bannister, the CIA agent who Wolverine had become friends with back during the events of the first 3 or 4 issues of Benjamin Percy's Wolverine, we discovered that Wolverine had finally gotten the message that Jeff Bannister had hidden for him that basically got him caught up on the whole Dolores Ramirez from X-Desk has been keeping watch on you, and that she has some kind of intel and that you may have a spy among you on Krakoa. And of course, we know that that spy is the character Maverick, who has been keeping tabs on Jeff Bannister, as well as tabs on anywhere he goes, anyone inside of Jeff's CIA operation, all that good stuff. And we do recently know that Jeff's office had been gunned down by Maverick and his gang. But what we didn't know is that Maverick is actually not working on the behalf of Dolores Ramirez. It seems Dolores Ramirez actually has a bit of a conscience. Now, Dolores does reveal that, and especially considering that, she might be a little bit sensitive to matters of this nature, considering that she is someone who is disabled, she would probably be able to empathize with someone who just recently beat cancer, someone who has overcome an ailment themselves. And Dolores reveals that she's not the one who sent Maverick and his soldiers, the Mercs, after Jeff Bannister and his daughter. She's not the one who sent those same people to try and take down his entire office and gun down everybody. The person that one of Jeff's colleagues had contacted wasn't Dolores Ramirez. It was in fact a character by the name of the Merchant, the guy who basically runs the Legacy House. This was something we actually saw come up very briefly in Jerry Duggan's X-Men number 5 this very same week when the Reavers were trying to figure out what to do with the X-Men's unconscious bodies. For those who are not familiar though, the Merchant is a character who for all intents and purposes traffics in superhero and supervillain memorabilia. The guy has access to tons of technology and costumes and other assorted accessories of characters from across the Marvel Comics universe. There's a point in here where we see him dealing with the character Maverick, and he seemingly has the flight harness of the Vulture. He has Wonder Man's old red jacket that he used to run around in. He has the jacket of the Iron Fist. He seems to have what might very well be some of Green Goblin's pumpkin bombs. He has one of Gambit's exploding playing cards, and maybe even the motorcycle of Captain America, a pair of Cyclops' ruby quartz glasses, and on top of a ton of other random and sundry things. And right now he has major beef with Wolverine as well as the mutants of Krakoa because at this particular point his entire operation has been torn asunder due to what Wolverine and Maverick did, destroying his warehouse that the Legacy House uses to store away all of the other random and sundry things that they keep hidden away for their auctions. We saw in that issue of Wolverine number 10 that not only did they have stuff related to the X-Men, but they seem to have the armor of Onslaught. They had Mojo's chair. They had a whole ass Sentinel head, as well as a Hulkbuster armor, the Giant 4 that used to sit on top of the Baxter building, as well as a decommissioned Nimrod, and tons of other things relating to not just the superheroes of the Marvel Comics universe, but as well as tons of other things as well. And Wolverine and Maverick destroyed all of that stuff, and this has put the Legacy House in a very actionable position to the point where they can no longer trade in physical inventory, but now they have to trade in something a little less tangible, and that's information. That is why they bought off Maverick, who was initially working for Dolores Ramirez, but he betrayed her and instead decided to go towards the highest bidder, and that was the Legacy House. Now, if you're scratching your head and wondering, well, why is Maverick working with the Legacy House? Weren't these the guys who were holding him hostage, basically keeping him in a docile state, and were prepared to sell him to the highest bidder, even trying to use him as a skeleton key to sneak people into Krakoa, and even worse, use him as a sleeper agent to spy on Krakoa? Why is he going into business with the merchant when this guy essentially tried to enslave him? That answer is pretty simple, because we gotta remember Maverick grew up listening to Wu-Tang Clan, and he knows about cream. He knows the cash rules, so he's gonna throw in his lot with whoever can pay him the most, and it's as simple as that. Yeah, he was working for Dolores Ramirez, but apparently the merchant has way more bank than what she had. Not to mention the deal was probably a lot more lucrative for him long term. He doesn't care about being a mutant. He's technically not a mutant anymore. Maverick has been depowered since House of M, and he has no loyalty to Krakoa, and we've seen this over the course of the last several issues of Benjamin Percy's Wolverine, even to the point where Maverick doesn't even really like hanging out on the island unless he's working. That is why he was so aggro about trying to get back that surveillance device that Jeff Bannister had discovered. While yes, Maverick was using that surveillance device for Dolores Ramirez, he was also going to turn over that information to the Legacy House instead, even having Dolores set up during a meet with Jeff Bannister where she's taken out by one of the Legacy House's assassins, a sniper who guns down Dolores almost immediately before Maverick walks in the door and takes the device. Wolverine has been caught up in this whole cloak and dagger operation, and I'm not even talking about the superheroes in that matter, but just, yeah, he has been caught up in all this, and right now he's put in a situation where he needs to protect his new friend. And this is one of those areas where I always talk about how people always are confused about who is and is not allowed on the island, and I'm just gonna say pretty much anyone who runs with Wolverine pretty much has free reign on the island. They can pretty much come and go as they please, because at a point we do see that Jeff, as well as his daughter, they are now hanging out and living it up on the island while they wait for this whole thing to blow over. And Maverick, well, Maverick just got played, because while Maverick did get his hands back on that Krakoan surveillance device, it wasn't before Jeff and Wolverine deleted all of the information on it and replaced it with hours of Johnny Cash karaoke. Now, as far as what's going on with Dolores Ramirez, we're not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say she's not dead. The sniper was not a particularly good one. This shot definitely hit her in the arm, so it's definitely not fatal, but it was most certainly enough to take her out of the equation for the time being. I'm pretty sure we're not done with Dolores just yet. The question is, whose side is she gonna be on once this is all over? Because she is very deadly serious about protecting humanity and making sure that mutants aren't up to anything that could potentially endanger human society. Though that said, we have talked about how wishy-washy she can be when it comes to how she feels about mutants and how she prefers to treat them. And is she gonna take this instance as an attack on her from humanity, or is she gonna take this as an attack on herself from mutants? Dolores seems like a smart woman, and she seems like a very logical woman at that. I would like to believe that maybe her stance on mutants will soften, maybe she will come around, maybe she'll start to see mutant kind as more of an ally, maybe realizing that the mutants aren't the ones that she should be keeping an eye on. We also can't forget she still has Wolverine's arm from the Legacy House auction, so what is she gonna do with it? Is she gonna give it back? Is she gonna use it for some nefarious ends? Is she gonna try and clone Wolverine? Is she gonna try and repurpose it somehow? Like, I kind of have to wonder what it is that she's gonna do with this, especially in light of how she just got played by Maverick. I don't know if we'll actually get any answers to these questions immediately in the pages of Benjamin Percy's Wolverine, but I would not be surprised if we got at least some kind of an answer in the upcoming 10 Lives and 10 Deaths of Wolverine, which, if I'm not mistaken, is also written by Benjamin Percy. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, Hulk smash that like button and make sure to share it all over the internet with all your friends, so that way they'll know how you leveled up your comic book big brain in regards to Benjamin Percy's Wolverine. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know what you thought about Wolverine number 18. Keep it plus ultra and sound off in the comments.